Guys, I have opinion changes. I now super like Ice Sponge. Why? Loudward is so funny, and the characters having strokes are super duper funny. I now like Sid City for good. Why? I think his animations in Battle of the Emoji series are cool. Like hate on Peppa Pig. Why? I find half of the show to be cool, and the other half to be terrible. I now hate a Minecraft movie. Why? Because that movie is ugly. I now despise the Logan Wangji case that happened in 2021. Why? Because it involves the mother named Ang Harade and the father John Cole and Craig Mulligan dumping Logan's deceased body into a river. Oh my god, that's child abuse and neglect. I now super despise Paw Patrol. Why? Because it is so stupid. Like one of my buddies at school, his name is Josiah, his cousin. All he basically watches is Paw Patrol. I now expert despise YouTube Kids. Why? Because it has so much baby channels and baby shows that I and everyone else on YouTube hates. I now mega despise Elsa Gate. Why? Because it has gory and bloody inappropriate content not suitable for children who have unsupervised access to YouTube. Extreme despise Cocomelon. Why? Because it makes nursery rhymes that are for babies, and for some reason have half of the literal population view them. I now ultra despise Baby Basher. Why? Because this involves a serial killer, and he kills what seems to be crying newborn babies. Oh my freaking goodness, that is child abuse. I now super mega despise Happy Tree Friends. Why? This show pretends to be a kids show with all of these animals, but it soon all goes wrong, because everyone gets tortured and killed in the most violent ways possible. I now super duper mega despise the Boxing Fever episode from Ogie and the Cockroaches. Why? Because Ogie literally throws a tantrum. Thrice. I'm not kidding, watch the episode yourself. So, first time he throws a tantrum when he calls Jack on the telephone. Second, when Bob thinks he's stronger than Ogie. And third and last one, cries because he thinks he's too weak for boxing. I now super duper mega extreme despise Copa and the FTC. Why? They like making people's videos for kids, and likes disabling comments. I now super duper mega extreme ultra despise the free sound baby crying, kids cheering, Avitas tempo Christune baby Kate crying and dun 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 sounds. Why? These sounds are so annoying to listen and hear. I now very extreme ultra despise Ogie and the Cockroaches seasons 6 and 7. Why? Because these seasons are just remasters of older episodes, for example, the first 2 seasons, and reanimated them to fit in the 16:9 aspect ratio, and also made some new scenes for episode remasters that weren't in the original episodes. I now think that the entire Barney series should rot in hell. Why? Because Barney is a dinosaur who makes kids' nightmares happen. I now think that the Milk Quest Flash game should rot in hell. Why? Because this game involves that cat, and you need him to find milk. I now think that the Happy Birthday episode from Ogie's first season should rot in hell. Why? Because Ogie in this episode tries to take his own life by committing suicide, and literally cries for the very first time in the show ever, because of a gentle smack by Jack. I now think that UTTP users should rot in hell. Why? Because they make disrespectful comments, and make mean and disgusting videos. I now think that the crybaby term should rot in hell. Why? Because if you say that, you are bullying someone. I now think that the Stay Mad Good user term should rot in hell. Why? Because it is like the Stay Mad Bad user term, which can be used on terrible and UMTTP users. I now think that knockoffs of TV shows should rot in hell, like we got Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island, which is a ripoff of SpongeBob. I now think that baby shows like Dora the Explorer, Caillou, and Little Baby Bum should rot in hell. Why? Because these shows' target audience are newborns, babies, and toddlers. Now, my number 1 most despised and should rot in hell thing, ever, now wait for it.
The number 1 thing that I despise so much and should rot in hell are CAPTCHA, Try YouTube Kids, Bob from Ogie and the Cockroaches, dinosaurs, My Little Pony, and unicorns. Why? All of these things are so stupid and retarded.
End of all opinion changes.